So everybody, did the 614, 615 assignment. I'd just be remiss not to go over a couple of the problems because I think your work is good, and I just want to make sure that you're doing it right if maybe you got a couple problems wrong. So the key to the problems are really the formula that I want you to know is this one: 1/2 the apothem times the perimeter. That's the area for any regular polygon. So remember, a regular polygon equals sides, and all interior angles are the same. Okay? So I asked for a lot of these problems here. So if you look at some of them, I just want to make sure you know how to do some of the problems that are given. So if you look at, like, let's say number 20, okay, because it's even. You have a, how many sides are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's a 9-sided figure. So again, that's really hard to draw. So obviously we know that's important. Each side you don't know, but you know the you do know that each side is 6.84. Okay, so the perimeter, of course, would be 9 times that. Okay, so we're just going to take a triangle. We know that the distance to the edge is 10, and this distance is 6.84. So just make a triangle out of it. Again, look at the whole figure. It's hard to draw. You would cut a line down the middle. That's your apothem. Okay, so half of 6.84 is 3.42. So you would have to use Pythagorean's theorem to find the apothem. Okay, so if you do that, you get working that out, you get 9.4, and that's the answer. So now the area is 1/2 of 9.4 times 9 times 6.84, 61.56. Okay, and that's where you get the answer. So a lot of you probably didn't get that one right. If you look to the 289.3 about square units, okay? But I wouldn't give a quiz on a nonagon. I think that's a little bit unfair, okay? But let's just take the next one, number 22. It's a little bit easier to, draw a regular hexagon. So let's do that. So if you look at the picture, okay, that's a regular hexagon. They have a dot here and they put a 7 here. Okay, so let's put the 7 here. That makes it easier to me. I know that each angle interior is going to be n minus 2 times 180, which is 720, because n is 6. It's a hexagon. And I'm going to divide it by 6. Each one of these angles is 120 degrees. Okay, so from here, I would then draw a line that splits one of the angles. So that helps me out 60 and 60. And then I would draw an apothem with a right angle. And I would cut the 7 in half and make it 3.5 and 3.5. So now I would then take this triangle out. I like to teach that way. Now draw a bigger triangle, and now you can do the problem. To find the apothem, now you can use your trig, okay? You also know your 30, 60, 90 rules. This apothem is 3.5 radical 3, right? Opposite the 30 is 3.5, so opposite the 60 is 3.5 radical 3. If you don't remember all that at the time, then you use SOHCAHTOA. The tangent of 60 is equal to the apothem over the adjacent 3.5. Cross multiply and solve, and you would get the answer. So now you know that the perimeter is 42, 6 times 7. So the area of this regular polygon is 1/2 the apothem times the perimeter. Use your calculator, type it out, get an answer. Okay? Looking at the next page, again, I'll stick to the evens. Take a look at 28. I know you guys asked about 30. So let's just take a look at, let's say, 27 and 28, okay? Even though 27 is obviously an odd number, okay? But 27, again on page 615, you have a regular pentagon inside a circle. Okay, so again, the picture that I'm drawing might not be very good compared to the book, okay? And they want the shaded region. So what you first have to find is the area of the circle. The shaded region is equal to the area of the circle minus the area of the regular pentagon, if that makes sense. Okay, so what are we given? We're given that the side of the regular pentagon is 12. Okay, so let's figure out what the distances are. We would have to figure out the radius, okay, and then we'd also have to figure out the apothem. We know that the sum of the angles of a pentagon is 540, n is 5. Divided by 5, each interior angle is 108 degrees. So I know if I were to draw this pentagon again, really not so great, that's 108 degrees, okay? As is all the others. So if I were to split that, if you will, and cut the side in half, the triangle that I'm going to be working with to figure out the apothem, this would be 6 because it's half of 12, and this would be 54 degrees, half of 108. So let's solve for the apothem. Using the tan function, the tangent of 54 is equal to the apothem over 6. Make sure that you're in degree mode. Cross multiply. 6 times the tangent of 54 degrees is 8.3, 8.26, but let's just round it to one place. So I know the apothem is 8.3. So if the perimeter is 60, because now it's 5 times 12, the area of the regular pentagon is going to be 1/2 of 8.3 times 60. Now I need the area of the circle. I would need to know this distance here, because this distance is that distance, which is going to end up being the radius of the circle. Pythagorean's theorem, 36 6 squared plus 8.3 squared, square root 10.24 is the hypotenuse of this right triangle, which is the area, which is the radius of the circle. So the area of the circle is pi r, let's use 10.2 because we're viewing one decimal place, squared. And now it's a strict calculation. So the area of the shaded region is going to be 10.2 squared times pi. This time I would probably use a decimal because 10.2 squared is irrational. Minus 1/2 8.3 times 60. $249. So whatever that answer equals is the correct answer for number 27. 77.9, something like that. Again, what's going to happen is you keep rounding. You're not going to get the same answers that maybe the author gets in the textbook. So that's fine. There's a little bit of a buoyancy between your answer and the book answer because of rounding. Okay? That's a good problem. Number 28. This will be my last problem of the day. And I think this covers the assignment pretty well. Again, chat with me if you have any questions. You have a circle and a square. Now this time, the circle has a radius of 14. So you know the area of the circle is 196 pi. Now you have to find the area of the square. Okay, now they tell you that this is 14 from the picture, so this is 14. So this is really more of a geometry question from earlier in the year. Because it's a right triangle, then the side of each square is 28 divided by the square root of 2. Because it's a 45, 45, 90, because they're talking about a square. Rationalize. So now you know that the side of the square is 14 radical 2. So the area of the circle is 196 pi. The area of the square is 14 radical 2 squared. Use your calculator, type it out. You see, I would probably want you, what's 14 radical 2 squared? Using your calculator, that would be 392, right? That's the answer I would really want to see, okay? I think that, perhaps you aren't comfortable with that, but some people just prefer the decimal. And again, for now, I'm okay with that. Okay, so chat with me if you have any questions on these assignments. This is a good one. Again, it's a good one to teach too. So hopefully you understand it. Let me know. Thanks.